Let's put the spotlight then on the markets and understand a little bit more about what this bull rampage means on D Street, where the markets could potentially be headed, what the outlook is when it comes to the broader markets too. Porinju Veliyath is now joining us on the show, MD and Portfolio Manager, Equity Intelligence India. Porinju, thanks much for taking time out and joining in. How is it that you're celebrating this milestone moment? And tell us a little bit more about what the outlook is when it comes to the markets scaling up even further. What's next?
Yeah, I think it's a natural way for the market to move in India, which has been going on for a while. And, we are not celebrating anything, and I don't believe much in these benchmarks. Of course, it's something interesting, and we all celebrated it our own way. But Indian market, has a tremendous journey in the last few years, and it's shining very well in the global arena. As an economy, as a market capitalization, and by all standards, it's something great news for India to celebrate. And this time, I strongly believe, it's a structural flavor for what's happening in the market. There are a lot of companies now. There is a feel that small and mid caps are overpriced, and a lot of market gurus feel it. And there is a point in that. We have seen it many times. When there is an overheated market or when there is exuberance, beyond certain levels, it always tends to correct. But it's only a correction. Considering India's economy and the structure, it's a long way to go. And nothing is a peak here. And I think it's going to be great times ahead.
Porinju, is that a right assumption that there is exuberance now building up in the small caps and micro caps?
Yes, I believe so, because this is quite natural, but it is not as bad as earlier cycles. We can be more comfortable about it because the structurally changing companies or the businesses or the promoters' attitude in the small and mid caps are so much evident. In the governance, in the transparency, there are many aspects to it. So, and the kind of opportunities, India is the only hope today in an otherwise troubled world. The way China has been declining, the kind of, it's not very stable. There are many challenges in China as an economy to grow much further. So that growth is going to happen in India. We have a fantastic opportunity, and our systems, our government, our economy is ready to take advantage of those opportunities. So that will definitely reflect, in many sectors. In manufacturing, we all talk about railways, the defense. There are so many aspects. India is very strong, and we are going to be much stronger in the global arena going forward. So our companies, not only the very large established companies or the mega caps and large caps, there are many small cap companies with fantastic visibility. So I would say, rather than getting bothered much about the exuberance, see, there are some companies which have gone much beyond its fundamentals or justifiable limit. I definitely agree. So that is where you have to do capital allocation. Not move to stocks or the businesses which are still available at very reasonable valuation, or there are stocks still underpriced, I strongly feel. So this people talking about small cap, mid cap, large cap, I don't have much belief in that. Now, for example, Aisha, you may be remembering, we have been talking last 2-3 years about Tata Communication, one stock. At the 2020, the COVID low, Tata Communication was a small cap stock. And by 2021, it became a mid cap stock. Today, Tata Communication at around 55,000 gross market cap, it's a large cap. So evolves. So we have a lot of smaller companies in India with the long highway of predictable growth. It's emerging. But at the same time, this exuberance, when it happens, there can be overall correction in the market. So broader market could correct anytime, but nobody knows when and how much.
How will you approach relevant defense stocks? Do you think these are stocks which, if you continue to stay with them, you will continue to multiply your wealth, or it is now time to not get greedy, but time to get choosy when it comes to railways and defense and shipyard companies?
Yeah, I can just see shipyard, Cochin
That's why I
shipyard
asked
from my
you.
window
That is why I
here.
asked you. You
Yeah.
preempted my question. I wish you could turn the camera and show it to us. You can actually see the shipyard from your house.
Oh, yes, right now.
So are they delivering
Anyway,
that ship which they've been telling us? Can you tell me?
I had a privilege, while under construction to be on board of that Vikrant. It's an amazing company, but exuberance is very much evident, Nikunj, in my opinion, in these railway and defense companies. But again, I believe these companies are in that long haul movement, with a long runway. So so there can be, some of these great companies with great future, there can be correction, and it can price wise correct 20-30%, or it can have a time wise correction. Sometimes you have seen stocks doesn't move for 2 years and 5 years. So those kind of things will happen. So that is where that happens when there is that exuberance. So investors should be. This is a point of time to be very selective, looking at the valuations. I won't say just be bearish and sell off all your small and mid caps. I think it's a very wrong idea. We have got wonderful small cap and mid cap stocks to look for next 5, 10, and 20 years. So whenever you feel overheated, if you are in a short-term or mid-term kind of mood, or in a trading system, nothing wrong in booking profits.
Where have you booked profits, and where are you not planning to book profits? We've discussed some of your ideas, whether it is Tata Communication or for that matter Tata Consumer. Have you booked profits in any of the Tata group of names?
We have booked profits in Tata Tata Consumer and Tata Elxsi later. But in Tata Elxsi, we booked profit, very early, around 4,000 levels. Then it doubled from that level, but no regret. We have moved into Tata Communications since last 2-3 years, and we continue to hold. We don't mind a correction happening sometime by 10-15%. So even what we discussed, the Raymond. So we continue to hold, because I feel in this kind of a heated up market with exuberance in many pockets, there are companies which can there is a growth visibility, and it's not a very high unsustainable valuation today. And so there are very comfortable opportunities in small and mid caps, Nikunj. I strongly feel so. But suddenly markets correct and everything goes down for 1-2 weeks, I cannot rule it out. It is very much possible. That is how markets behave. Should be ready for that. Traders. For investors, there's nothing much to worry. If you feel your particular stock is too much overpriced, book profit.
Feeling when it comes to, other individual names like, say, a Shalimar Paints, etc., is the conviction looking strong over here?
No, I think you are mentioning from my holding. So this has been a PMS holding. We used to buy at very low price. We have book profits, except in our AIF holding. I think there is a change in management is happening. So there's nothing exciting about it at this point of time. People should watch and wait and watch. The other small stocks, somehow mostly they are in my personal portfolio. In PMS, a lot of people believe we buy penny stocks or small caps. It's not true. Now, Tata Communications, Raymond, and Hindware makes around 50% of our portfolio. These are very large businesses in India with the leadership. So that perception that Equity Intelligence, my firm, holds buys only small cap, it's not true. So as I told you, now a small cap Tata Communication has crossed mid cap and now it's large cap. So that is where you make multi-baggers. There are many such opportunities in the market. But looking at one more good thing happening in the market, most of the market participants have seen this 2008 crash and that exuberance and the reaction of the market later. Similarly, 2018. I am one of the fund managers who suffered maximum in the 2018 small mid cap meltdown.
I like that phrase of yours.
A lot of learnings have happened.
I like that phrase of yours. There are many mid cap stocks which can become large cap stocks and many small cap stocks which can become mid cap stocks. So let's hit the pause button here, and this is something which everybody wants to know, and you must have guessed my question. Which are the small caps which to your mind could become mid cap, and which are the mid caps which could become large cap, or which are the small caps which could become large caps? Small cap भी बहुत बड़ा हो सकता है ना?
Of course, that's happening in the market. But Nikunj, I am very sorry. I cannot mention names. I'm getting more and more, what do you call, cautious about mentioning names on thing. And for all good reasons, regulator also has made an environment, we should be more responsible on the media while mentioning stocks, especially small cap stocks make, very big impact on the price just by mentioning it, because market is so crazy. There are a lot of new investors in the market. They are not willing to learn the fundamentals or understand the company or the future. Just jump into stocks when somebody mentions a name. We are in that kind of a period of time now. So I'm very, very scared, and please don't ask me individual names. But generally, I'm telling you, the pharmaceutical is a sector which we feel we have been, because it has been beaten down in the earlier cycle. So some of them are now coming up. But India manufacturing, we have got a strength as a nation, and we are manufacturing it for the whole world. So there are some well-managed companies. But one thing I'll tell you, whichever segment or group of companies, when we look at those companies which have some small negatives, and they have been very much underpriced. So if investors have that daring, and they want to invest directly in some of these small cap companies, look at their growth prospects, that long highway in terms of growth opportunities and market opportunity, market size in India or globally. So when we look in that manner, I find many small mid-cap pharmaceutical companies can grow much bigger and can be making in India for the whole world. And we have got a strength in that. And the weakness of China in many pockets, especially in manufacturing, I think it's going to be very big structural advantage and luck for many Indian companies who are established for decades and had many issues. And some companies in the past had governance issues. And many of those companies with the next generation coming in, they are very much learned people. There are all incentives for many promoters to stop siphoning off money, to go very professional about it, appoint a proper CEO and CFO, and run this company very ethically and smartly, and create market cap. So the promoter families' wealth creation should happen through market capitalization.
Sure.
This realization is coming in a big way to many companies.
Absolutely. But Porinju, just before we let you go, wanted to understand, you were talking about overheated pockets, and I'm going to keep it across market cap categories. Where do you think valuations are unjustified and getting frothy now?
I feel in the name of defense, there are some unworthy companies also going to very, unsustainable levels, at least in the medium term. See, some of those companies can transform and come back to today's price after 2 years or 3 years. So there is no need of panicking, but you have to see the worthiness of the company, the promoter's quality, all are very important. Even though I talk many times, about some governance issues, and the stock is available at throwaway price, and why not take a chance? Especially in some people individually directly invest, provided you have to be very much watchful the behavior of the promoters later, or how do they consider the minority shareholders. All those aspects, there is no hard and fast rules. You have to use a lot of common sense and wisdom in doing these kind of things. Just please don't go by the tips in the market. I think it's very, very sad in that kind of a structurally, big bull market also. I know a lot of people on tips, they have been trading and losing money. It's very difficult to lose money if you see in the last 3 years by investing in the market.
So Porinju, every time you come on television, it's a rarity. And when you speak about trends, you always oblige our viewers with a thought or a stock idea, whether it's multi-bagger or whether it's a compounder. I will leave it open. But give us something which could be an actionable money-making idea or an actionable trend which you would like to endorse for next 3 or 5 years. I'll keep it open. No market cap constraint, long-term 3 to 5 years, where the risk could be 25 to 30%, volatility could be more, but 3 to 5 years, you think this could be a good compounder in making?
A lot of names coming to my mind. As I told you, it's difficult to really name them. But the two companies, the largest two holdings in our portfolio, that Tata Communications and Raymond. Raymond, as you know, it has moved from 3,000 crores to now around 14,000 crores market cap. I feel, peer comparison and the assets of the company, and there is some perception change happening in the governance of the company, and I think it has a long way to go. Promoters get motivated when market cap is created, and when minority shareholders like a business company and they start buying into that, and a proper or a more rational valuations comes to the picture, promoters get encouraged, they get motivated to do better things better, and to have more of governance practice. So those kind of comments. So in that context, I feel we continue to hold Raymond. I think it is underpriced. Similarly, in Tata Communications, we continue to hold all our stocks, and we have been buying even till very recently. I think yesterday it was at a new high. The stock was 200 rupees in the 2020 low. Now it's come to something like 1,900 rupees, around 55,000 gross market cap. The way the management guiding and in the con calls and all, they are very much excited about the future growth of the company. Even other than their legacy voice and data infrastructure business, the new verticals are emerging. They are going on a small acquisition free. Right. So this whether investors should think this is the value of the company, 55,000 crores. Whether it has a potential to go to 1 lakh and 2 lakh crores market cap in the coming years. Right. So that is the question every investor should think. Don't go by the, most people go by the ticker, price ticker. And still there are people, very highly educated people, instead of understanding the valuation market cap of the company and the business growth potential or the visibility, people just go by the price ticker. It's very, very bad. Especially the newcomers in the market should always think. It's a very easy thing. One need not be a CFA or a chartered accountant to understand these simple, things about companies' fundamentals to evaluate that. So I feel these two companies, investors can watch, but there can be corrections. We are ready for 10-15% correction in both the stocks. We continue to hold. I don't want to recommend it as a stock. So I'm just expressing about the stocks.
That's a disclosure.
Should take care of that.
Okay, that's a disclosure. Really appreciate your time. Always, lovely to have you on ET Now. Thank you for joining us. And before I go to Pankaj Pandey,